I just cut my 6-inch square of the plastic mesh and rounded off those corners. If you could find those circles, buy those. They'd be easier to work with and be more uniform. And this product that I'm going to use is flex tubing. Now we've got all different kinds. We've got just foil flex tubing. We've got this new tinsel, which is kind of hairy. I really like that. We've got that in several different colors. And this is just a jute flex tubing. I chose it because it's chocolate brown and I wanted to put a brown center in that wreath too. Now I'm going to use just some more of those little zip ties, tiny little black zip ties that will fit through the plastic mesh. And I'm going to create loops. I'm just going to hold about 1 inch from the end, and I'm going to create a loop of a little over 1 inch, maybe 1.25 inches, and I'm going to just go back and forth making like a simple loop bow, and I'm going to make a cluster of about 8 loops and cut it. I'm going to start in the center. I'm going to slip my zip tie up through the center. And I'm going to secure that right over that cluster of loops. Go right back down into a little square right next to my zip tie. And secure that. And have just a little cluster of loops. Now I'm going to fill in. I'm just going to start. I'm going to make another cluster, and I'm just going to go round and round till I fill up my little mesh. Just going to push those up. And you can see I have my zip ties spaced about 1 inch apart. I'm going to go ahead and snip these off and make it a little easier working with it. And I'm just going to continue to go around and add in these loops. This is something you can do in front of the TV and get off your feet. Here's the center with the jute flex tubing after I finished it. Probably in hindsight, I said when we started out, make a simple loop, like 8 loops. That's probably too much. With this particular product, the jute is a little heavier, so I would cut those loops back to like even 4, 5, or even 6 loops. And then just go around your plastic mesh, and you can see from the back side, mine's not perfectly even or anything, and I had to go back in and I had to fill in some bald places. But that's okay. I really think that this tinsel flex tubing covers better because it has all these little hairy fibers, and it didn't take, you can tell, it didn't take as many clumps as it did with the jute flex tubing. But you would secure this into the center of your wreath just like the other one. Just attach it to those 4 center posts using zip ties or chenille stems. This is another new product I wanted to show you. It's a moss cloth. It comes folded. You just fold it out. It has a paper backing on it. You can tell I've already used some of this. And what I'm going to do is just take my square. I'm going to use a 7-inch square to go in that inside of that wreath. It's 7 inches wide, and since this is going to fit a little closer than the mesh, I'm going to make it 7 inches, and we'll see if that works. I'm just going to round off those corners. I'm going to just lay that down on my mat, and I'm going to cut about, I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch. Make it larger, a 1/2 inch larger than the 7-inch square, so I'll have material to fold over and glue it. Okay, that out of the way. Alright, I'm going to go around my mesh right around the edge with a bead of hot glue. To attach this to my wreath, I would run a bead of hot glue around this and then just glue it down to the work wreath frame. Okay, there's our flower wreath after we put the moss center in. This wreath measures about 29 inches. You can make it out of things other than paper. You can use 10-inch deco mesh. I wouldn't recommend splitting 21-inch paper or mesh because the more cut edges you have, the more it's going to ravel. Everything ravels, whether it be paper or poly. You can add some tails if you wanted to with this wreath, just cut off some pieces of the mesh, the green mesh, and just twist it into a tube like, or just attach it like a bow. That's all you have to do. Let me show you one that we've made out of poly mesh so you can see what I'm talking about. This is made out of 10-inch deco poly. This is a wide foil iridescent material, and we did the tinsel tubing loop for the center, and you can see just some green mesh tails, but it also is made on a 10-inch pencil work wreath. Thanks for watching. Be sure and give us a like if you liked our video, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our tutorials. And thanks again to Nicole D Creations for sharing with us how to make the center of her wreath. It was so popular, everybody liked it so much, and ours doesn't look as good as yours, Nicole, but thank you very much for sharing. Be sure and drop by her Etsy shop and her Facebook page, Nicole D Creations, and thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.